right, welcome back to episode number 9. It's the Coyote Football Stats Show. Super excited to be here. We're going to cover today the win against Memorial High School. We are brought to you by City Park Group. This is our Stats Show. I am Phil Morgan, and right over there,
I'm Blake Rundy. And listen, thank you again, City Park Group, for all. As we come to the close on the regular season, we've got one game left.
One game left.
But City Park Group, we are so thankful for
Must-win game.
We are so thankful for how you've it's not, but we're so thankful for how you have supported this show and as well supported the uplifting of these amazing student athletes. So we're thankful for that. Listen, this was a statement evening for our Coyotes. Yep. They went out there and they kind of put a punctuation on the evening. The final score we know was 76-14. But
they did what they had to do. Like, that's people like, even on the sideline, like, how much are we going to put up? How much are we going to put up? To me, it didn't matter how much we put up. We just had to put up enough to show people that we are who we are and not go in there and play at the same level as them.
They are who we thought they were.
They are who Denny Green, baby. Come on, bring it back.
Arizona,
are who we thought they were.
They are who they thought they were, and we let them off the good old Denny Green on the Cardinals.
That's right.
Anyways, that's totally irrelevant to this game in this moment.
But some people will take it. Well, they will love that
because we didn't let them off the hook.
We did not let them off the hook.
I mean, to your point, it was the statement was we need to show that we're ready moving into playoffs. Yeah. We need to see our offense humming. We need to see our defense making stops. Yeah. And then once that has occurred, we'll put the twos in, get them some valuable playing time. And I mean, that's what happened. It wasn't about how many points can we score? It wasn't about setting a school record. It wasn't about getting 987 points like some may have predicted.
But it was about writing some stuff that
you just ignored my callback.
No, I got it. I ignored it. You're right, I did. So look, I think it's about setting the tone back to where it needed to be because the Denison game didn't go the way that our guys thought it would, and so as a result of that, I think we needed this. I think the offense needed it for one. I think even though there was a little bit of keep away in the previous game, it was still not their quality, their caliber of football. There were a lot of things that we talked about last week that were set right this week. Things that we expect to see out of our team. They brought it, and they brought it with precision. Yeah. They brought it with dominance. Like that was a good win.
Well, I mean, listen, our offense is used to scoring on more than just 50% of our drives. That's just where we've been. It's no shade towards anybody, so nobody take that personally. That's just what it was. But listen,
if you're taking it personal, you can always turn off the show.
That was the running joke from last week.
Yeah, gonna keep it going
because it got personal a little bit towards me. That's okay. Listen, I think this was the best defensive performance we've seen. And we're going to get into it when we get to the stickers. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of things to talk about. I want to throw this out because this was probably my favorite thing coming out of the evening. Memorial did not run an offensive play on our half of the field all night long.
Right.
That's pretty incredible.
And people are going to question that. Well, they had a touchdown and they scored twice. Yeah, but they didn't run a play from our side of the field. They struck from a distance, right? They broke some coverage.
It was like a 52-yard pass play, something like that.
And we whiffed on some stuff defensively that these young guys are going to have to learn. That's because they haven't had a lot of playing time. Right, we talked about that pregame as we were kind of preparing for today.
Sure.
These are guys that don't have the same kind of experience, and so move here and there. They don't react to it the same way that our starters do. And so they learned, they grew. Like 2 scores, that is nothing in the grand scheme of things of that game. That I know they would want to have stopped it. Best case scenario. But, man, they're going to learn from that. They've been film already. They're already looking at it, those young guys, and they're going to come back better for it. But, incredible moment, though.
Yeah.
I mean, what a stat for us.
I know Coach Rod has already gone through the special teams film and has the adjustments for those guys so that those kids can learn because I think, like Coach Parr said, the twos deserve just as much work coaching as the ones do, which I love about this coaching staff. And so I know he's got the special teams and Coach Severe's got the defensive side of the ball covered, and it's going to be cool.
There's no way you can say that the twos don't get the same level coaching.
They got some coaching.
They got some coaching this week, and you know what? People say what they want. Coach made a statement in our post game interviews about I need to apologize to the young man, to the parents, or whatever. But yet on the same side, I think like that's Coach Parr. Like he expects excellence. If you get a chance to get in the game, then you better be ready. Like you don't stand on the sideline just to take up space and to wear a number. You stand on the sideline in the event that you might be called on. And so when you're called on, what does he expect? He expects one level performance, period.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period.
He coaches the QB2 the same as he coaches the QB1, the RB2 the same as the RB1.
Yep.
Coach Rigg does it's our whole coaching staff. You know, we're not going to name our whole coaching staff this morning, but this was an awesome night.
Really
so
good.
with that said, we've got
A lot to cover.
a couple of stickers to pass out. Just a couple.
Yeah.
So should we jump in to the offense?
Yeah, let's hit the offense. Okay, I'm bringing him in. I guess
It's your turn to talk about him.
I'm
Come on.
gonna get him. Listen. We've had a couple weeks where we've had some good conversations about this guy. Number 8, Zion Williams, our quarterback. Gotta love him, right?
A couple weeks, roughly 8.
Roughly
8 weeks before now.
8 weeks before. 2 months. Weeks, months. It's actually a blur, to be fair. Look, Zai was what we want to see from Zai. 14 of 20 on the night,
yes.
which is efficiency rating puts him at about 70%, which is fantastic.
Not about exactly.
No, not exactly 70%, but good. But very, very good. 198
really
yards, 2 shy. I mean, come on, man. What's it take? 2 more yards, one more little dink, one more little, out pass to Chum or something, get you 200 yards. He had 2 passing touchdowns, 135 QBR rating, which is crazy.
That's a sticker right there.
That's a sticker. By the way, in case I didn't say it, because I didn't, 6 total stickers for Zai.
Yeah, incredible
on
night.
this performance. You had 5 carries on the ground. You had 69 yards for an average of 13 point. I couldn't get through it. I tried all night long. I knew I was going to bust on that. Average of 13.8 yards per carry for Zai. 13.8 yards per carry.
Yeah.
And pay dirt 3 times.
Hey, Zai, you couldn't get 1 more yard to get to 14 yards per carry?
Right.
You needed 70 yards. You couldn't get them? Like, what are you even doing, man?
I'm so
slacking.
I'm so disappointed in
Slacking. Three times in pay dirt. Hey, one of those being a semi-hurdle into the end zone. Hey, Zai, dude, I love you, but can you not hurdle on this coming Friday night? Can you keep yourself healthy for playoffs, brother?
I asked him, I'm like, dude, I said, the hurdle? He's like, I know. He goes, if it was, a couple weeks ago, I probably wouldn't have done it. I'm like, you did it a couple weeks ago.
He literally did it in the open field to turn a 6-yard gain into a 12-yard gain.
What are you talking about?
Zai. What are we doing?
Zai's trying to emulate Saquon Barkley. Trying to do a little, which, by the way, that was a sick hurdle in the game last night. But Zai, incredible game. Good poise. The stuff that was intangible. The stuff on the field is so hard to find another superlative for. Right, but some of the intangibles are when you're off the field, when you sit for the twos, when you're just as engaged in the game and what's happening and what your boys are doing when you're not in the game, says a lot about who you are as a player, who you are as a leader, and it was really great to see. To see you and Ronald sitting there, and you could have been talking about anything. I walk up on them; they didn't know I was walking up on them, and they're talking about the game. They're talking about their boys. They're talking about what they hope to see out of them, and it's just a good look. It's just a really good look, and that's stuff most people are never going to know, and that's why we talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Incredible game, Zai.
Well, and I love so in the post game interview, right? We're interviewing Zai, and one of the first things Zai talks about, hey, Zai, you had 5 touchdowns on the night, 2 through the air, 3 through the ground. Talk to us about that kind of offensive outburst. And he goes, yeah, man, but you know what? I missed Rowan. One of my reads was off, and I missed Rowan, and I could have had a passing touchdown to him instead of running it in. Yeah. That's what it takes to have excellence on your team, and Zai displays that.
When Austin's given his interview, Austin Crowley's given his interview, and Zai is so excited, he jumps in, he hugs him, and he's lifting up his guy. A lot of people might say,
Pick six, baby.
Yeah, he may be talking about he's some kind of camera hog. That was not it at all.
No,
Zai was super excited for Crowley, and you could see that come out in him, and that's leadership.
Yeah,
that's leadership.
Yeah. Hey, the next guy. I think has also been a leader for us all year long. He's kind of been the driver of what it means to have a winning mentality, right?
I wish we could play the theme music without getting dinged for a copyright issue. But we can't, and I know we can't. So we might have the picture still. We'll see if by the way, Josh is back this week. Josh Wright.
Welcome back, Josh Wright.
Back in the back. We love the guy.
He's pumping his fist back there, excited for the shout-out. Landon did a great job last week in his absence as he was enjoying a cruise to Mexico.
Okay.
But hey, you know what? You know.
By the way, for those of you who don't know, he is bronzed and beautiful, looking great today.
So you know who didn't take a vacation though?
We didn't.
Number one, Edward Chumley.
You're talking about him.
I'm trying to get us back on the track here. Like,
no, look.
Listen, Edward Chumley. He had 10 carries on the night, right? And so typically you're like, oh, he only got 10 carries, man. He probably didn't get his Superman stats for the evening in. Hey, no, brother. Yeah, you got your stats. He showed up and did what he needed to do in limited work, and he's like, all right, Superman cape can come off. Clark Kent can go back on the sideline, and I can relax and watch my boy run behind me. But Chumley, you're going to get 4 stickers on the night. You had 10 carries for 131 yards. So that's the sticker, 131 yards. His dad was like, I don't know if he's going to get 100. They told me he'd get 100. James, he got 100.
Yeah, it's all right, Dad.
He got 100 plus 31.
Yeah.
So in case you didn't want to do the math, that's 13.1 yards per carry. We do the math for you here on the Coyote Football Stat Show so that you don't have to do it at home.
That's a hard one.
We do the heavy lifting for you. Got you covered. That took me a long time to come up with that average, even though it was also on Max Preps for me. And then he also had 2 TDs on the night. So Edward Chumley in a big performance that felt kind of standard.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy to say that a standard Edward Chumley performance feels like 10 carries for 131 yards and 2 touchdowns? I mean, we are spoiled as a football team to have this young man on it and to see how he performs every week. Incredible.
And it's one of the reasons why they're starting to crack, different place and different lists within the state, which we'll talk about next week as it's kind of like a seasonal wrap-up.
Yeah, we'll give a regular season kind of like look back of this is where we finished statistically in state leaders.
But you guys got to know, we got a couple guys that are making
top 50s, top 20s.
Top 20s, depending on what we're talking about.
It's pretty crazy, man.
And Edward Chumley is consistently one of those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, a 10-carry, 131-yard stat line with 2 touchdowns. I've got room for him on my fantasy team. I'd take that as a running back on my team. That tells you the state of my RB2 role right now. That's just another day, another situation.
Listen, we won't talk about fantasy this morning.
Well, let's talk about RB2.
Hey, another RB2 that you'd take as an RB1.
Well, without a doubt. Number 22, Pharrell, baby. Come on, Mr. Brown. Get you some. 4 stickers, man. You told me that one-on-one, we were having a conversation after the game, and you said, I just got to show everybody. I got to prove to everybody. I've got something to prove. I've got a job to do, and that's what I'm about, And you were about that, young man. 11 carries on the night. Again, you might think 11 carries, 106 yards, 2 100-yard rushers in our game, right? 2 100-yard rushers. That I don't know when the last time it was that we had that. I don't know outside maybe Zai and Chum.
Yeah, we've had a Zai and Chum 1 or 2 times this year.
Yeah.
But from 2 running backs.
But 2 running backs,
right?
No, sir. I don't. It hasn't happened, and Pharrell, you made it happen. So 106. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't even know if that happened when Breezy and Chumley were both in the same backfield a couple of years ago. I don't know that even happened. So, anyways, shout him out. 11 for 106.
11 for 106 and 2 touchdowns. It was so fun to watch. Him getting into the end zone. I don't think it was his first, but it was certainly celebrated. It was a lot of fun to watch those guys celebrate Pharrell getting that touchdown, and not just 1, but you got 2, and the end means you end up with 4 stickers on the night, kid. 4 stickers, and a great performance. I think a lot of people, when they look at Edward as a senior, right, because it was senior night, it was a big night for our seniors to have some recognition. A lot of people worry, like, where are we going to be? What's going to happen? Pharrell kind of said, "Look, don't worry. Like, I know I got work to do, but don't worry. I'm coming."
By the way, in case those are wondering, if you've been at home and following our stats, you'd be like, "Well, he didn't get over 10 yards per carry. Where's his 4 sticker from?" It's because he literally took off the head of another guy as he was running down the sideline, lowered his shoulder, clean hit by Pharrell. This was when he was carrying the ball on the sideline. I think I labeled it decapitation, Josh, by the way. I just feel like we had to give a sticker for that.
And he's all over with violence in this
wasn't
stat show,
it Martin that was like, I just want to knock somebody's helmet off?
It was Austin Crowley.
It was Austin Crowley.
Yeah, and he did it the next game.
Well, he did it next game, but in case he needs more lessons, go look at what Pharrell just did. That was a hard run down the sideline and just lowered his shoulder into contact. And just kind of imposed his will on the young man. And credit to that young man from Memorial, because he stuck with it and eventually got the tackle.
Yep.
He didn't quit. He wasn't like, oh, my helmet came off, I'm going to stop. Like, he kept playing hard. So, like, credit to him. It's not shade on him.
And I give a lot of credit
awesome.
to our opponent, right? Look, they've had a hard season.
They fought, man.
They fought all the way through that game. They are competitors. And look, sometimes we throw shade for fun. We have a lot of fun at our opponent's expense sometimes, but this is one of those times where you watch kids who have worked in the off season, right? They've prepared, they've struggled, they've fought just as hard as they could,
right?
Like every other team, they earned the right to wear their school's colors, and they didn't embarrass them. They fought hard.
They never quit.
Never quit.
They kept fighting. Like they kept coming back and saying, you know what, I'm gonna take the next step. Snap. I might have some bumps and bruises, but I'm gonna keep fighting. And like I've got a lot of respect for any team that comes out and does that, regardless of what the score ends up being.
And in the end, Pharrell gave him some bumps and bruises. Right?
Yeah, Pharrell ran hard, brother. You earned it. He's gonna show up again here in a little bit.
He will,
but first, I get to talk about our boy, man.
Come on.
Love this man. By the way, just announced his commitment to Langston University.
Big day.
NAIA school in Oklahoma. They play in the Sooner Athletic Conference. So, listen.
Don't we have another alum there?
Do we?
I thought we did.
We might. I'd have to go back and look. I don't.
Wait for next week. We get a stat correction.
There you go.
I think we might.
All I know is that's one of the conferences I'm hired in. So RBJ, when you're there next year, and if I'm ever there doing a basketball game, brother, I got lunch on me. Okay, I got you. Lunch on me.
You heard him.
I know what some of the university caf food can get like. You got lunch on me, brother.
Oh, man.
Listen, I mean, it gets monotonous. That's all I'm saying.
Don't scare a guy. Like,
that's all I'm saying.
He's got to look forward to this.
But we still got the rest of the season with him, and I loved seeing him back out on the field doing his thing. He was shadowed all night long by their commit who's going to UCLA.
Yeah.
Really, that guy was pretty good in coverage, and Ronald Bell still shook free. You had 4 catches for 49 yards, and you had 1 touchdown. And I think between you and me, we got some really cool angles of that touchdown catch.
Yeah.
And it was really cool to see, and a special moment to see RBJ come back for senior night. Right? I didn't think he'd get back in time. I was like, I like maybe the playoffs we get him back. Like it was a pretty big hip injury that he had, or a hip flexor, and. I mean, the man went in and did the work behind the scenes. Treatment, stretching, working, re-strengthening, and he comes back and shows that with a touchdown on the night, which is going to get you your sticker, Ronald Bell Jr., on senior night. Dude, I'm so proud of you and the way you fight and the way you lead this team.
We don't get snap counts. Like, we don't get how many snaps each player, played or whatever, and that would honestly take us forever to create on our own. But I felt like in some ways he was a little limited in terms of like, just let's protect this guy. Let's not overplay him. Let's give him some breaks. Let's get him loose. And when he was out there, I thought it was Ronald Bell. It was just exactly what you've come to expect.
He didn't look like he was slowed at all.
No,
and rightfully so. They're going to bring him back along, make sure he's healthy. He's back there on kick return units, and the sidelines were so happy for him. Which tells you when the whole team is cheering him on. Come on, 3, house at 3. You got this, 3. Like, and they're all happy for him. That tells you the kind of character the kid has, which is what we've shouted out a lot. And I couldn't be more excited for him and happy for the night he had, and to see what he's going to do the rest of the season. But another young
number
receiver.
7, man. We got to talk about number 7, Ace Traylor. Every week we're talking more and more about him, and it's just he continues to show up in big ways. That he was just shy of 100 yards.
Yeah.
96 yards on the night with 4 catches.
Hey, real quick,
which is
Ace,
characteristic of him.
Ace, you had a catch where you came down and you're trying to make some guys miss, and you could have got 4 more yards. You just needed your buddy Mr. Kennedy to come in and reciprocate the favor of the 18-year block that you threw on Walnut Grove.
The block that's still
the
going
block
on.
That's still blocking. No, I mean he had a great night.
Look, Ace is a selfless player. He understands the assignment. He gets out there. He knows that not every play's coming to him.
Yeah.
And when it's not, he's out there doing absolutely everything. It's one of the best parts about his game.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's a really great receiver. He's got he's got great hands.
Oh,
Period.
phenomenal.
If you get the ball around him, he's going to do his best to come down with it. And once he gets a hold of it, he's not giving it up. He's not going to give it up. So 4 catches for 96 yards, which, by the way, makes an average of 24 yards per reception.
Once again, we do the math for you, so you don't have to do the math at home.
It wasn't too hard, but again, we did it. And he gets the touchdown, which is great. Just overall, an absolute beast of a player. Probably the best-hearted kid maybe on the team. I don't know. It's hard to say that about. We've got so many kids whose hearts are really in the right place, who are just really good dudes. But Ace Traylor, you're a man among them, and you get 2 stickers on the day. An incredible day.
Yeah. Hey, real quick. By the way, Michael Kennedy, I know you were actually coming in to throw a block on that play.
Yeah.
He was running over there.
That was no shade.
It's just a joke. Michael was running over there trying to throw a block, and by the time he got there, there were like 5 guys there, and it was. It's kind of like, Ace, it might be in your best interest to go down at this point.
Again, and it's another opportunity to talk about that room. That receiver room is
deep,
full of guys who who all want to play. Like, not even if they don't get the ball, they all want to play. They all want to do their part because they know that it's the yards after the catch again.
Brother, we're going to get Ashton back at some point, back on the offensive side of the ball. And, I mean, I know that kid is ready to catch him some passes and get in the end zone again.
Keep all sharp things away from Ashton because he'll try to cut that cast off on his own if he's given the chance.
I did notice this week the wrap job was a little bit smaller than it was last week.
A little bit smaller.
Which tells me he's getting closer to maybe coming back to that side of the ball. But, like, to your point, they're so deep. And then we got to see the twos come in, and we saw a couple of freshmen, sophomores make some catches.
Yep.
Have some nasty moves after the catch. That was kind of nice.
Yeah, we
got some depth.
You know, look, twos. Your day in the sun will come. Stat wise, there were a lot of you guys who got some passes. Some good things happened. Didn't quite meet the stat threshold, but that doesn't mean that we're not proud and that we're not excited to have watched you play. You got out and you did your thing, and yet this was Ace. This was kind of an Ace and Ronald night in terms of catching. They kind of stole the spotlight in what they did. And Ace and Ronald, you rounded it out. A lot of other people contributed, but you guys hit pay dirt each, and it's a lot of fun to talk about this group.
I do want to say real quick, I think almost every receiver that played had a catch. When I went back and looked at it, it was spread around.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
It was bubble screen nation.
But do you know why? You want to tell them why they all had catches?
Well, they all had catches, but also we had 302 rushing yards on the night. Why? Because the purple people movers.
That's a lot to say.
The people movers that wear purple. So the purple people movers.
Purple people movers, baby.
302 yards rushing is what Dallas Morning News had us down for on 27 attempts. That means that we averaged 11.19 yards per carry as a unit. That one actually is a little bit harder to do on the fly.
Coach has got to say something about that.
Hey,
I mean,
Coach Riggs got to be happy with his O-line. Like I know he's happy with his O-line.
Yeah.
Shout out to Coach Rigg, by the way.
Yeah.
We see you, man. We still know what happened in, what was it, 2010?
Hey, why we got to go there? Why we got to go there?
Because he didn't want to go there. Max Preps had us at 298 on 25 attempts. So there's a little difference there. We like to bump up. We don't bump down. We bump up when we can.
Wherever the stats take us.
But that was huge. I think I had a clip and I labeled it something like O-line moving or purple people movers and it was just. It's funny because I was watching this clip as I was going through plays, and Dylan and Peyton both get to the second and third level, and I think they each blocked 2 or 3 guys individually, which means that between them they potentially blocked up to 6 of the 11 defenders on one play. And so when you wonder, like, well, how are we getting these running lanes, and why are these holes so open, and why is Chumley not getting touched until he gets to the second level of defense? It's because our O-line, starters and second unit, just were fantastic all night long.
There's a stat that some teams keep called pancakes, right? And we would love to have that stat, but we don't keep that as a team. That's kind of seen as their job, and so they
That's
don't.
Fair.
I think they just don't treat pancakes the way that maybe some other teams do, because that should be normal. Let's just say it was the International House of Pancakes on Friday night. It was. Absolutely. Everywhere I looked, there was a Warrior player flat on his back somewhere. At any given time, they were laying these dudes out, and it was. I mean, look, you got 3 guys that are over three bills, right? They were just pushing them around. They were having their way. I've got a shot from an end zone. I think it was on a Pharrell Brown touchdown where the ball is the ball is hyped, and as soon as it happens, it's like whoosh.
The parting of the Red Sea.
It was like bodies dropping. It was just like there was holes everywhere, and it's why we give this sticker to the line.
Yeah, I think Peyton predicted that he had 16 pancakes on the night, is what he told Zai. And before I went back and watched the film, I was like, is he talking about his post-game meal that he's going to enjoy? Or
his breakfast for the morning?
Or his breakfast for the morning? Like, there's no way he had 16 pancakes. And then you go back and look at the stats, and it's like,
he might have.
Oh, no. Young man might have ate before, during, and after the game.
Yeah. He might still be eating from that game.
Listen, it is that's potentially true. But that's our offensive side of the ball.
It's time to talk about the defense.
Let's do it. All right, well, you brought in the offense, so let me bring in the defense. I'm gonna start with number 2, Zay Gentry, senior night. Listen, his stats were a little bit less than what we're normally used to. They didn't really throw the ball. Oh wait, no, we're used to people not throwing the ball his way, or receivers not catching the ball in his vicinity. Like, that's just the reality of it, and not punting to him. And but Zay still finds a way every single game to leave his mark. He had 3 tackles on the evening. And you had 1 giant sack on a corner blitz. And I'm pretty sure Pete Kane's, the voice of Coyote football, Pete Kane, Mayor Pete Kane, shout out to Pete Kane, wears a lot of hats, does a lot of good for our community, as much as we joke with him. Pete Kane kind of goes, and Zay Gentry on the sack in the backfield almost immediately is the line he said. And it just had me busting out laughing as I'm watching it, because Zay came off of the edge. No one saw him coming. He comes blindside, quarterback's rolling out. And Zay just chases him down and drops him, and it's just like that was kind of a tone setter or a microcosm of our evening.
And Pete has little ways of throwing like shade over the microphone. Can we
funny.
talk about it? Like,
so funny. We can.
He always adds that little extra flavor on a call that you just like, oh yes, I heard that. Thank you, sir. That was fantastic.
There was a special teams tackle. And it's Pharrell Brown on the tackle, and our Xavier Flanagan's there too, and Edward Chumley, and a lot of purple around the ball on that play.
A lot of purple. My favorite. My favorite.
Pete, chill.
One of my favorites is it's like when they get a tackle for the loss, and then he's brought down in the backfield, had absolutely nowhere to go. I'm like, oh. That's called home field advantage.
Pete does such a good job,
and
once again, he does it with the spirit of like loving on our guys, because I know you and I know his heart really, really well.
Yep.
He's just a solid man. But yeah, that was funny.
Oh, good stuff.
In the backfield, almost immediately, Zay Gentry, you're getting your sticker for the 1 sack immediately.
Let's just be fair. We were in the backfield a lot, and so we're going to call a lot of names here in this next section. We're going to talk about a lot of dudes. We had.
Go ahead, say it.
So we had 20. Total tackles for loss on the game, and they carried the ball. Just to put this into perspective.
Well, no, that's a.
We talk about that later.
That's a special thing.
Yeah,
we gotta save that one.
It is 20 tackles for loss.
By the way, let's say on 67 total tackles, 20 of them were for a loss,
which is. Yeah. Okay. Just let that marinate. We turned into a cooking show.
If you're not doing math at home, that's almost 1/3 of our tackles were in the backfield. That's just an incredible night. So, like you said, we're gonna kind of pair some of those moments together, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna first talk about Eric Bowen and George Rogers.
Yeah.
Number 5, number 6, respectively, each getting a sticker. You guys both had 3 total tackles apiece, and you each had a tackle for the loss. Everybody was getting to eat in the backfield. Everybody was getting to eat in the backfield. Eric and George got their opportunities, took advantage of it, and ran hard, hit hard. I mean, I love the tackle for loss stat, and I go on and on about this because it's an absolute script destroyer, right? If Memorial had a game script, they had to throw it out after the first series completely. Just because they couldn't move the ball, and it's for guys like Eric and George and the many others we're about to talk about.
Huge hit by George too. He hit someone hard. Hey, I'm going to talk about the next guy, number 11, Israel Johnson. By the way, I was thinking while I was doing the eating thing, I was like, Adam Stormer's going to meme me again. He's got so many memes of you and I on his phone somewhere that, it just is what it is. Israel Johnson, number 11, you're going to get a sticker on the night for your giant interception. Great coverage. Like, you were in the hip pocket, and it's so ironic, right? We have Coach G on the show.
We talk about it, right?
And we're talking about it like, hey, turn to look for the ball. You know, everybody shouts it.
Do you teach it? Do you
not?
not?
How do you coach it? What are some of the keys you're looking for? And gave us a great answer on that one. You know what I mean? He's like, well, first you have to look at the receiver to see where they go. You can't just look in the backfield. And we're like, well, yeah, okay. And then he talked through some of that, and really a great answer. And then Izzy does just that. In the receiver's hip pocket the whole way, sees the receiver's eyes get big, hands go up. He turns, finds the ball, picks it off, and
going
just,
to the ground, by the way.
Yeah.
He picks it off going to the ground.
Yeah, he's another one of those receiver transplant playing some DB for us. And it seems like every couple of games he makes a big play from the DB spot for us when people try to test him. And so he came up big in this game with that interception. So, Izzy, you're going to get your sticker on the night, brother. Great job.
Great job. Okay, let's talk about it. Number 12, number 15, Arzavian Flanagan.
Mm-hmm.
We got him for a tackle for loss.
Yes, sir.
Right? And we got you, bro. Look, you give us such grief over the name, but we nail it. Like, because we see you. Like, number 12 got a tackle for the loss. And not to be outdone, number 15, Ryan Susumi. Every game, Ryan, the last
Tsunami
5-6 games, yep. You're getting a sticker, by the way, but we've been calling you out for the last 5 to 6 games. You just are getting increasingly better every single week. Like, you're constantly doing something of recognizable ability. Like, and that's such a huge testimony to where you are as a player, 'cause from where you've come from. Right, from playing quarterback and really looking at the field from a totally different perspective to now switching to defense, I think your the right transformation this season is pretty incredible.
Sure.
And I can only see greater things. I've got a shot somewhere in all my videos. I've got a shot of Ryan, Austin Crowley, and JoJo standing talking together on the sideline, and my thought is the future looks pretty good.
Yeah.
10, 15 more pounds on each of those kids, another offseason working together in the defense. And I think what you've got is you've got the core of a pretty good-looking defensive team, in the backfield there with those guys. And so, Ryan, you had 3 tackles, a tackle for loss. Arzavian, same thing for you, man, tackle for loss. Proud of you guys. Number 12, 15 on the board with a sticker each.
Oh, yeah. Arzavian Flanagan's tackle, they throw a pass out to the flat, and he just comes and sticks him in the backfield. And it reminded me of Stephon Gilmore on the Vikings last night. Honestly, they threw a pass. This isn't a shade moment. They threw a pass out to the flat, and Stephon Gilmore comes and just sticks the dude. They were like, oh, we're going to get 5-6 yards on this. It'll be a good chunk play, and they just stick him. And that's what Arzavian.
I'm just proud of you for working in your Vikings. I've spent so much time working in my teams. You finally, not only did he work in his Vikings here, right? He on Sunday he got to preach it at Pin Oaks Christian Fellowship this last weekend, and when he did, he actually opened up the bandwagon for anybody that wanted to come and be a part of the Vikings nation. So he made that clear. Both spots he's managed to find a way to talk about the Vikings.
Listen, it's an easy transition. The Vikings wear purple. The Coyotes wear purple. You can just wear your Coyote gear and pretend like you're just slide on over. Jerry Jones will figure it out in the summer. I promise. He's got a plan.
He always does.
Yeah, always has a plan. Mr. Jones, GM Jones has got it.
But
number 17 had a plan.
So bad.
And carried it out. Number 17,
so
Josiah Smith. Is going to get 4 stickers on the night. Listen, you were tied for 3rd on the team with 5 total tackles. By the way, the fact that 3rd on the team is 5 total tackles tells you how spread out our tackling was. Okay, 67 total tackles. Did we mention 20 of them for a loss?
20 of them for a loss. Yeah.
So you had 5 total tackles, tied for 3rd on the team. You had 1 tackle for a loss, and then you found a way to intercept the ball, and then you found a way to take that interception and house it. His post-game interview, he goes, "Yeah, I picked it off and saw I was going to score." Pick and score.
Pick and score.
Because it wasn't a scoop and score.
Nope.
His post-game interview, he goes, "Yeah, I picked it off and looked ahead and saw I was going to house it, basically." And he was like, "I just had to start thinking of what my celebration was going to be."
I'm like,
I was like, "Bro, what is it? What is it like? 1, to pick it off and be in the open field like that, and 2, to know that I have the wheels to say that once I picked it off and no one was around me, that no one was going to catch me.
Now, yeah, you're not even thinking about running anymore or getting in the end. You're thinking about, gosh, what's my celly? What's my celly?
That's a special kind of fast.
And then he doesn't even hit one.
Because everybody mobbed him. He couldn't. Yeah. He couldn't. Everybody mobbed him.
It was a huge moment.
Jojo, your 4 stickers on the night. You had a great game. Just sideline to sideline, hits all over the place. But, I mean, this next guy.
Number 25, Cash Money Williams, Quadzilla in the house, getting not 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, not even 6, but 7. 7 stickers.
Chill up, bro.
No,
Chill.
don't at all. Don't at all. Don't listen to him.
The
Just
poor
keep going.
souls.
Second on the team with 6 total tackles, right? Which is great. But dude, I've 2 sacks, and they were both punishing.
Nom.
Yeah, was. Yeah, that's a shade back to last year's
quarterback
stat show.
snack. That was your deal.
Quarterback snack, baby. 4 tackles for loss.
So I knew I could get you to do it.
4 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. Gosh, Cash. I mean, it never gets old shouting you out. I mean, you work for those moments, you grind for those moments, and you found a great day.
Can you say the number of tackles for loss again?
No,
please.
Okay, 4. 4 tackles.
Do we understand that that's 1/5 of our total tackles for loss as our team? Cash Williams is responsible for, what is that, 20% of our tackles for loss?
20% of the tackles for loss.
Right? 4 times 5 is 20, so I'm doing my math correct.
And 2 sacks in a single game, and they were
40% of our sacks. We had
violent.
5 sacks, by the way.
Violent.
Dude, Cash. What a game, man. I saw the stat line, and I was like, okay, I have to wear my Quadzilla sweatshirt, hoodie for the show.
And what I love about Cash, it's just, when you say chill, like you are.
It's sarcastic because he is chill.
He is chill. Like he is like, that's my job. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Like that's my thing. Like I should be doing that. And you did it so well, kid.
C-ball, hit ball.
7 stickers worth of C-ball, hit ball.
C-ball, hit ball hard.
Yeah. I mean, he had to have lost paint
Squat.
last night. He had to have lost paint on that helmet.
He played phenomenal. Our next 2 guys, number 26, Carter Dietz, and number 30, Brennan Williams.
Come on.
Both came in the evening. Both had 2 total tackles, but they're same thing. They're going to get their stickers, each respectively 1 sticker because they each had 1 tackle for a loss. Carter Dietz, a guy that moved in, kind of joined our program as the season was getting underway, and just phenomenal.
And he was hurt last year.
Yeah, hurt last year.
Yeah.
Has really proved himself to be just a phenomenal asset to our defense. And then Brennan Williams coming back from injury, 4th game back. We got to interview him. Looking healthy, looking dangerous, coming in and getting that tackle for a loss. So Carter Dietz and Brennan Williams, both of you guys getting some TFLs, getting on the board, getting you a sticker for your helmet. Love what you guys are doing. Love watching you guys ball out and play.
And now we're going to talk about number 31, Austin Crowley. Austin Crowley, number 5 stickers for the kid. Led the team in tackles with 9. Right, and this is a kid who said, "I've got my own shoes to deal with. Like, I can't even worry about last year's shoes to fill and all that other stuff. I can't worry about that. I got to worry about the shoes that I put on every day." And I mean, every single week he's putting shoes on and he's doing what separates him from the rest of the crowd.
Yeah.
Okay, you led the team with 9 tackles.
Yeah.
You had a tackle for loss. You were involved in a sack, so you got credit for half a sack.
Which is a full sticker because we don't cut your stickers in half here.
No, we don't cut stickers in half. You got a sweet, super smooth, absolutely it was perfection. It was poetic the way it came down. Interception. I mean, midfield, read the play, cuts it off like it is, and he's actually cuts it off in motion, comes around, right? And reverses field and makes his way all the way back to where? The house. He just goes home because that's what Austin Crowley does. If Austin Crowley gets, I got a feeling if Austin Crowley gets an interception, that's just what he's just going to take it home. He's just going to go home. He's going to take it to the house. He's going to get another touchdown. It's just what you do, kid. The 9 tackles, tackle for loss, half a sack, 1 interception for a pick for a touchdown is just absolutely and totally amazing. 5 stickers, incredible day, and I'm not shocked.
I'm just laughing because in the post game interview he was like, "Yeah, it was actually kind of painful. Everybody was slapping my helmet." He goes, "It kind of hurt after a little bit for everybody slapping my helmet." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, because you got a pick 6, bro. They were all hyped for you."
Yeah.
And then I watched the scrum, and who comes out with the ball after they're slapping him on the helmet? Zay Gentry. Grabbed the ball from Crowley and put it under his jersey and like runs out with it. And I'm like, Zay, why do you have the ball? But a huge night from Austin Crowley. Our next two guys, once again, we got to put them together a little bit. Aiden Bello and Rashad Bowden, number 40 for Aiden, and then number 44 is Rashad. Both of them getting a tackle for the loss on the night.
I think on the stat show for both of them.
First shout-outs. And that's the beauty of a game when it gets like this, and we get to get some twos in there, some new guys in there, some fresh blood in there, and we get 20 tackles for a loss. We get a couple of guys that get some stickers, and so Aiden and Rashad, you guys are going to get a sticker apiece for your individual effort on those tackle for losses. Phenomenal job, and it's another Coyote tackle for a loss.
For a loss.
Thank you, Pete Kane.
For somebody absolutely going nowhere. But now we're going to talk about somebody going somewhere. The Soul Snatcher, number 90, Caden Banks, snatching souls, getting 4 stickers, tied for third on the team with 5 total sacks.
Total tackles.
Total tackles, sorry. And
2 5 sacks, that would be phenomenal.
5 sacks would be a huge night. Caden, I think you could do it. I'm going to put it out there.
I don't think he can.
You can say it.
And now clip that and use that as motivation, please.
I think you can do it, man. 5 total tackles on the night, 2 tackles for loss, and an absolutely awesome sack.
Yeah.
Incredible. You came from the right side of the line. I think you were playing it. I can't remember.
He was playing the end.
Was
he was
on
the end.
Yeah.
Either that or they ran a stunt, but either way, he came off the right side of the line.
I felt like it was a little delay, so there might have been a stunt there if I remember right. But, man, you came absolutely unblocked, and you let that quarterback know. I mean, that quarterback didn't stand a chance. There was a moment where I saw Caden completely unblocked, and I thought, oh, no. Oh no!
See, I thought, oh yes.
I thought,
oh yes.
I thought we don't want an injury timeout. But it's about to happen. That's where my head was going. Caden completely unblocked, headed to the quarterback, meant that there was some bad things about to happen. Yeah. And sir, you made bad things happen.
Listen, he's figuring some things out, and that means danger and trouble for opposing offenses and opposing offensive lines.
Stay the course. Don't rest on how good you're getting towards the end of the season. Keep driving, kid, because I think even better things are ahead for you. Keep driving.
Hey, our other Caden.
Stribs!
We get to talk about Strib. Hey, Strib, you're going to get 2 stickers on the night. You had a tackle for a loss, but you were also involved in that half sack that Austin Crowley was involved in. And so, Strib, you're another one. Like the Caden dynamic duo of Caden Banks and Caden Stribling is starting to become a problem, and you love to see it. And so Caden Stribling he was everywhere all night long. He was eating up multiple blockers all night long. And so while he didn't walk away with like 1.5 million sacks or a bunch of tackles for a loss, he had 1 and 1 respectively, basically. He was doing the dirty work of holding some people down so some of our other guys could get in the backfield. So Caden Stribling, number 91, just another great performance on senior night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looking good. Look, there's still more because we had 20 tackles for loss.
How many?
There's still more. We had 20 tackles for loss. So Rojas.
In case you lost count at home.
No. So look, Adrian Rojas, number 95, is a name we haven't said all year. We got to interview him afterwards. Had a lot of family.
Great interview.
Yeah, great interview.
Came up from Mexico. It just great.
Had family in town.
So happy for him.
So he gets 2 tackles on the night and a tackle for loss, which is great when you can show out for your family. Incredible. Number 96, Zyron Favorite Jones. Actually, probably one of my favorite names on the team.
Pun intended or no pun intended?
That's a dad joke. That's a bad dad joke. But I've been known to use them, so I applaud you, sir. Zyron, look, 2 tackles on the night and a tackle for the loss.
I didn't make the dad joke. You did.
What?
Zyron Favorite Jones, one of my favorite people on the team. That's your dad joke. I just called it out.
I was trying to push it off on you. You're not the only one though. Zyron, you did a great job. 2 total tackles, tackle for loss. So you get a sticker on the night, and then number 99, Draylon McMahon gets a tackle for loss as well. 3 more tackles for loss. A total of 4 tackles between those guys, and all of them first time shout outs on the show.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Pretty incredible. Did we mention that we had 20 tackles for a loss?
I think we said it once.
It's
worth repeating.
Yeah, 20 tackles for a loss, 5 sacks. We got to make sure everybody knows, as everybody's paying attention. Which leads us to our favorite sticker of all time.
I never thought we would give it out again after last year.
Neither did I. We have a lot of special stickers. Listen, we enjoy our special stickers. We enjoy coming up with goofy names for them. This was our favorite. We saw it last year against All Saints. And we both were like, we will probably never see that again. And here we are, just eating our words.
Yeah.
Eating our words.
I think thank you, team, for making us eat our words.
Because we're giving out the wrong way sticker, which is given out when we as a defense give up less than 0. That is ZERO. 0 yards.
With a less than symbol in front of it.
Less than 0 yards rushing in the game. If you're asking, how do you give up less than 0 yards?
How
means
do you give up less than 0 yards?
That we have 20 tackles for a loss that resulted in negative 34 yards rushing on 35 attempts.
Negative yards. Negative yardage.
Negative 34 yards on 35 attempts. It was something like negative 0.92 yards per carry.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is the very definition of going the wrong way.
Ouch.
There's dead air here because it's just hard to respond to that. Like, it's so good. Like, that's such a good performance on the defensive line, like on the defensive unit as a whole. There's just not much to say.
Can I give it an exact number?
Do it.
Negative 0.97 yards per carry.
Still, regardless of what it was negative on the night, negative 34 total, and it's what you want to see happening with a young defense as the year goes on. Somebody on our YouTube channel, commented on the last game. Coach Parr has this team growing, getting better and better and better.
Like a TOTR track.
And I would say Coach Sevier is doing the exact same thing with this defense. They're getting a little bit better every game, and in this game that they had to perform, they performed.
Coach Sevier, do you want a sticker for this performance?
Right.
We'll give you a sticker. If you don't want it, you can give it to your daughter.
Yeah, that's right.
Who gave you a 100 out of 10 performance?
That's
on the
right. I thought that was a great rating.
That was a spot on rating.
Yeah.
One bite. Everybody knows the rules.
Mm-hmm.
The wrong way sticker. I'm stuck. But there was also somebody else that was stuck.
I mean,
we had to come up with this sticker too, by the way.
Yeah, this is called Stuck in the Mud sticker. Right, we give this for.
We could have called it quicksand sticker too.
We could have called it quicksand. Stuck in the mud. Stuck in the mud works for where we live.
I'm good with that.
There's a lot of mud around here, especially with all the rain as of late. You gave up less as a team, less than 50 total yards of offense.
Hang on, what? How many yards?
Less than 50 total yards of offense.
Huh?
Combined, not just rushing, not just passing, but less than 50 total yards of offense.
What?
So with our negative 34 that our team gave up in rushing, they gave them a net 38 yards of offense. So yes, we give you a sticker. Everybody gets another sticker for Stuck in the Mud.
Everybody eats.
Everybody twice.
Hey, by the way, if they got a big pass play. If it wasn't for that big pass play, they would have had negative total yardage on the game.
Yeah. I don't even know what. I mean, I can't even think because it would have been bad because it was a big pass play, like 60. It
was 50-something yards.
50-something yards.
About 50 yards. I may have been leaning too far away from my mic. I'm sorry, Josh. I just can't, bro.
We've been doing a lot of leaning away from the mic in this show.
I cannot. I can't even and I can't odd. But listen, we're not done giving out defensive stickers. We're not done. We're still here.
Give it before I comment about the joke.
Gain the edge.
There you go.
Gain the edge. It's given for causing more turnovers than we gave up. We caused 3 turnovers. We took 2 of them to the house. Do we need to come up with another sticker real quick? Gain the edge sticker. We caused 3. We caused 3 turnovers. We had 1 turnover, so we gained the edge, right?
Yeah.
Like that is. I mean, that's a great stat, and I got serious there for a second. Do we have to give out another sticker? The "we scored more than you" sticker? When the defense scores more touchdowns than the offense?
Oh no. No. Because the defense scored.
Defense got 2 touchdowns.
2
The offense had 1.
That's a sticker. Right here on the show, you're seeing it first. We are awarding another sticker right here. Our defense outscored their offense.
The "we scored more than you"?
The "we scored more than you."
The "na boo boo" sticker. I'm sorry,
Either
Josh.
way, you're getting
Pick whatever
another
you
one.
want, Josh, and just write the sticker in there.
You can call it whatever. We are giving Josh Wright, the producer, editor extraordinaire back there, complete and total liberty, creative license. Call it what you want, sir. But we are giving that sticker.
I saw him click over on our Google Sheets, and I just don't know what he's gonna type.
It's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly.
That's our defense.
Five total sacks, 20 tackles for loss on the night.
That's the defense. Should we talk about special teams?
Let's talk about special teams before he blows a Go-Gurt. Okay, we're going to come back laughing just because it's the only way we can do it.
I'm sorry, I kept laughing all the way through the commercial break.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's just one of those weeks. I'm going to start so you can compose yourself, all right?
I don't know if there is any composing. Go ahead.
No. Special teams. Number 9, Rowan Nylander. Number 60, Kian Yaneza. Number 82, Desmar Marquin. You all three, get 2 stickers. 10 for 10 on extra points. You guys as a unit perform pretty well. Kian, I know you're beating yourself up over a bad snap at one point in the night, but look, you're getting some good reps. You're doing some good things, and as a team, you had 10 extra points where you could execute, and you were 10 for 10 on those, and we're going to give you guys 2 stickers there for that because it was just.
I mean, they earned it.
Yeah, I mean, 10. I mean, it's 10. It's 10 points as a unit, and I think that's absolutely worthy of sticker for sure. So
yeah,
look, Kian battled. Like I
wasn't feeling 100% right
at all. Like not even close. Like he was battling. In fact, we found out afterwards that the kid had pneumonia. So
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, I didn't know it was that bad.
He had some pneumonia, so he played through that. Which man, heads up to you, kid. Like that's hard to do. So
I love you, kid. Praying for you to get better soon.
Yeah, man, get better quick. We got a couple. We got a week here, and this is a good get right for you.
Because he was also playing on offense too. So for him to be playing that many snaps, feeling that poorly, phenomenal performance
and played well
by him. Yeah,
and he
really did play well. Hey,
Here we go.
I just came up with a name for this sticker.
Yeah.
Any Harry Potter fans out there? I'm gonna call this the Nearly Headless Nick sticker. We're giving it to Pharrell Brown for almost decapitating another human being on kickoff coverage.
Bro, that was violent. That was crazy. It was criminal. Like
Josh, run the clip for us.
You're right.
A couple of times. It's the Nearly Headless Nick because he almost took his head off. So if there are any Harry Potter fans out there, look, my family likes us some Harry Potter. Augment, like just for what it's worth. So I got to call it the Nearly Headless Nick sticker. Pharrell Brown is getting another one. That gives him 5 stickers on the night. I think the best performance we've seen out of Pharrell. Phenomenal night. I don't know if I have any more words for what we did as a team. Yeah. It was special.
The bottom line, coach talks about this all the time, right? Play the play that's in front of you.
Yeah.
Right? That's all you can really control. And you want to play it in such a way, like especially since it was our last home game, like right before they went out of the locker room, he's like, look, this is our last home game. How do you want to be remembered? How do you want to go out? Right? And you got to play every play the way that you want to be remembered. You got to play every play in front of you the way you want to go out because you're not guaranteed every play. You're not guaranteed every moment. So make the most of the moments you get. And I think these guys did what they were supposed to do, right? They did what they were supposed to do. No shade to Memorial. It is just what it is. Our team, with the offense we have and the defense, the way it's growing and the way it's performing, did what they were supposed to do, and that's why the score was what it was. That's why these stats, the way they were, is because they did what they were supposed to do.
I agree. So listen, we've got our final regular season game this coming Friday, 11/8, November 8th. We play Frisco Liberty. Yeah. Please note the earlier kickoff time. It's at 7 p.m.
Everything moves up.
It's funny in their district papers. It lists the schools that will kick off at 7 p.m. And it's like all of these schools will kick off at 7 p.m. except for Anna, Melissa, and Lovejoy. We're the wild children that kick off at 7:30. So it's a 7 p.m. kickoff at Kuykendall Stadium.
Kuykendall.
Kuykendall. Yeah. Kuykendall Stadium. I gotta leave the accents and
you going full Yankee on us?
Listen,
we're gonna go over here. Go to Kuykendall Stadium. Kuykendall. Let's go to Kuykendall.
That's why I leave the impressions and the accents
where we
to
go.
Phil, and that's how
we
it
go.
should be. It should be another fun one. We close off our regular season against Frisco Liberty. We're locked into the 3 seed.
Locked.
But this is still
Can't move up. Can't move down.
Correct.
It is a lock. We're going to be.
Lock it in. Lock it down.
Lock it in. Lock it down. And
Well,
I think our first round
yeah.
competitor is locked in as well at this point.
Yep.
I don't.
Colleyville Heritage is locked into the 2. Yeah. I mean, there is an outlandish scenario we end up winning the district, but it's very outlandish, not even worth me entertaining on here.
No, because the math would blow people's heads up. James Chumley would call in right now, even though it's not been published.
Why is my phone ringing? He does. We're not even sending this out live. We're recording, and somehow he just heard his. No.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, and a lot of people know. But this is the final march. This is the final march towards the postseason. And I know the message. This is where I carry the show now. Thank you. This is the message from the coaching staff will be, guys, the season's not over. We need to do what we need to do and like you said, play the play in front of us and make sure that we get it right. And so be there one last time in the regular season to root on our boys before we march into the playoffs.
That's right.
Should we just call it here?
Let's call it.
Go Coyotes on 3.
On 3.
1, 2, 3.
Go
Go Coyotes.